Hello, everybody. My name is Jason Sullivan. I'm a spiritual care student at St. Joseph's. And today, for my meditation and reflection, I want to talk to you about life in seasons and give you some questions to think about. First question I want to ask you is, what is your favorite season? Just want to give you a minute to think about that. My favorite season is autumn. I love the fall. I love to see the leaves change color, love the smell of burning leaves. But one controversial opinion I have is I do not like pumpkin spice. I know some of you may just disagree with that, but I'll hold to it. So, what is your favorite season? Why do you like that season? I think it's important for us to think about life in terms of seasons. The seasons change throughout the year. We see winter, spring, summer, fall. We can also see in our life that we go through seasons. One season ends and another begins. And that perspective has helped me to recognize that not every phase or season of life is permanent. Some seasons of life that we may all have in common are the time that we went to school, whether it was grade school, high school, or you went beyond in your education. Another season of life can be parenthood. That can change when all your children move out of the house and you move to that empty nest stage of life, or that season of life. Relationships come in seasons. Some relationships are in our life for a short period of time, and some are there longer. Our employment. Most people nowadays have had 2 or 3 jobs by the time they're 30 years old. And so those employments can be types of seasons. And also our health. We may have seasons in our life where our health feels very good, but maybe you're in a season of life right now where your health is not the best. I had a friend who was in the hospital for about 2 months, and during that time, it was very difficult for him to stay in the hospital that long. But it was a short season, and when he got out, he felt so much better. We can see the concept of seasons of life in the song Turn, Turn, Turn by the Byrds. It's a famous 60s song. And I just want to read some of the lyrics to you. It says, "To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, and a time to weep." Now, I want to just you to think about those lyrics for a moment. You can see various seasons of life, and I want to focus on the last line of those lyrics. It says, "A time to laugh and a time to weep." And in that, we can see some very sharp contrasts. There are some very good seasons in our life, and there are some seasons in our life that are difficult or challenging. What type of season do you feel like you're in right now? I feel like one of the comforts of thinking of life in terms of seasons is that when we go through difficult times, we can say to ourselves, this is hard, maybe even feel painful, but this is only for a season, and it's going to end, and things are going to change. And I think that can help us to have a perspective on life that doesn't make everything feel permanent, doesn't make us feel stuck. We can have some hope for what's next. So I want to give you some questions that you can reflect on what during a season of life, or even when a season comes to an end. So here's the first question, and I'm just going to go through these slowly, and I want you to think about each question. I think it's good for us to reflect when we're in a season or at the end of a season. And you can ask yourself, what do I need to reflect on? What is happening around me? What is happening inside me? What can I express gratitude for? What are some lessons that I've learned? And who has walked with me? What do I need to reflect on? Next question has to do with being able to relinquish, to let go of something. What do I need to relinquish? Maybe it's old habits. Maybe there's something that you need to surrender or let go of control. So ask yourself, what do I need to relinquish? The next question is reward. How can I reward myself? I think we miss this in seasons of life. As we're going through a season, it's good for us to reward ourselves for getting through something, especially if it was difficult. One practice that I have in my life is I think of each month as a season, whether it was good or bad, or difficult or easy, challenging. But at the end of each month, I take myself out to dinner. I reward myself for going through that month. And I think it's important that we reward ourselves when we come to the end of a season. So, how can you reward yourself? And the last question is reconnect. Who or what do I need to reconnect with? Maybe it's some hobbies that you have let go during a season. Maybe there's friends or family that you need to catch up with. Who do you need to reconnect with? Maybe there's some dreams or goals that you set aside for a season because you had to focus on something else. And now it's time to get back to those things. So, who or what do you need to reconnect with? So, as I close out this meditation today, I want to leave you with this quote. Every season is one of becoming, but not always one of blooming. Be gracious with your ever evolving self. And that is by psychiatrist and poet Britton Oakman. And I think it's good for us to be gracious to ourselves no matter what type of season we're in, and to help others be gracious with themselves. So, as I close today, just want to encourage you again to think about the seasons of life. What type of season are you in right now? Do you see that season coming to a close? Maybe you can continue to ask yourself these questions that I've given to you as you reflect on your season of life. Thanks for sharing this time with me. It's been a privilege to talk to you. I hope you have a great rest of your day.